Alright, we are back. This is Old Tom Jen returning to my playthrough of Fallout 4, my permadeath run on survival mode, and we're about to enter into a section of the game that will, fortunately for a change, not require any physical risk of death for me, which is a nice change. And of course,
Initiating brainwave migration between the transplant and the host.
it will also reveal a great deal about the story.
It's degenerated, but it's there. We're going to load you into the strongest memories we can find. They might not be stable. Just hold on. Can you hear me? Ah, good. The simulation appears to be working, although the memories are quite fragmentary. I'll try to step you through the intact memories and hope we find one that gives us some clue to the Institute's location. There. This is the earliest intact memory I can find.
From an art direction standpoint, I do love the implementation of this particular scene. I mean, you know, giant glowing neurons are not exactly a realistic way of looking at this, but why would you represent it that way?
You are experiencing these memories as Kellogg. This may prove disorienting at first.
But it's cool visually. I think it's neat. It's the feeling of walking around in his brain.
Turn down the goddamn radio! I'm trying to sleep!
All 5 states have now signed on, which means that as of this moment, we are all citizens of the new California.
Lady's looking at me. How is she looking at me? This is a memory.
Getting used to for a lot of people.
What a joke.
What's it mean, Mom?
Nothing, Connie. People like to talk and hope someone else is going to keep them safe.
I was such a dummy back then. What did I know about how the world worked? I think now she wanted me to kill him. I should have. Instead, I ended up running away. I told myself I wanted to find somewhere out from under the thumb of the NCR and all their rules. But really, I was running from the guilt of not protecting her from Dad. Yeah, it doesn't matter now, though.
Teacher at school said the NCR would bring back the good old days. Like before the big war.
Don't you listen to that twaddle. I'm going to stop sending you if that's what they're teaching you.
I'm going out. Where the fuck did you put my boots?
Listen to me, Connie. You take this. You're old enough. You're the man of the family now. It's your job to protect us. Your father's useless, but you won't turn out like him. You're a good boy. And all that on the radio, all useless talk. The only thing that will protect you in this world is that gun in your hands. You need to learn to use it if you're going to survive.
I will, Mom. I promise. I won't let you down.
You've always been my good boy.
This doesn't seem to be what we're looking for. There appears to be another intact memory close to you in temporal sequence. There. Try that one.
So a fascinating look into Kellogg's youth, and obviously some very, very bad parenting. Also, interesting aspect of it, the Thomas doesn't know this, of course. The protagonist of this game has no way of knowing this, but if you were a player and you were listening to the radio very closely and listening to that conversation, you might have said, wait a minute, that can't be right. The new California Republic, like if you were a veteran Fallout player, and you're like, wait, the vote to form the... That doesn't make any sense, and start doing the math. And I admit that I thought what I think a lot of people thought when they were going through this game. Oh, they screwed up. They didn't get their math right. They're not paying attention. And I thought that for a while in the game. But as we know, it's a little more complicated than that.
It's gonna be fine. You'll see.
But we don't know anybody here. And now, with the baby?
Come on, Sarah. You've got to give it a chance. I finally got steady work with a good outfit. Nothing like that in the NCR these days. The thing about happiness is you only know you had it when it's gone. I mean, you may think to yourself that you're happy, but you don't really believe it. Focus on that petty bullshit or next job or whatever. It's only looking back, by comparison with what comes after, that you really understand. That's what happiness felt like.
No, I'm not saying this was a mistake. I'm just... Are you sure these guys know what they're doing? They seem kind of green.
I know, but that's where I come in. Just wait. In a few years, I'll be running my own crew, as soon as I make the connections I need. I was the worst thing that ever happened to her. If she'd never met me, she'd have stayed in the hub, maybe hooked up with someone who didn't kill people for a living. Probably been happier than she was with me. Almost certainly lived longer. Then I can give you anything you want. And little Mary, too.
I never worried about you before. Must be my mama instincts kicking in. Who knew I had those, huh?
Come on, you're great with her. And you don't need to worry about me. Most of it's just running security for the she. A lot of standing around, making it tough. Whatever made me think that a guy like me should have a daughter? No, I never deserved her. Not for 1 second.
Well, they sure picked the right person for that job.
Listen, it's gonna be great here. See this? This is what's gonna keep you and Mary safe. I promise.
I know, Connie. I'm sure we're gonna be really happy here.
We are. You'll see. That's okay. I got her.
Let's keep looking. I'll connect you to the next intact memory.
And so we see that things are not quite as simple as we thought. That Kellogg is not just the one-dimensional villain that we might have believed he was. And also some great callbacks to earlier Fallout games, all the way back to Fallout 1 or Fallout 2 rather. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing little tie-in.
How did you think this was going to end, Kellogg? You thought you could just fuck with us, and we wouldn't fuck with you? Just so you know, they died like dogs. And you weren't there to help them.
I found another memory to try. I'll connect you.
Mind if we sit down?
Suit yourself.
So, I hear you'll take care of people's problems. Is that right?
If you pay me.
Oh, we'll pay you.
And, you'll do this all by yourself?
That's right.
We pay you when the job's done. Is that okay?
That's the way you want to do it? I didn't care where I was going. Ended up mostly wandering east. Getting as far away from San Francisco as I could, maybe. So who do you want dead?
Well, it's like this. There's his family. Lives down the creek a ways.
Well, we seem to be getting closer. Try this next one.
Mr. Kellogg, I'm glad you decided to meet with me.
So, you're with the Institute. I wanted to see for myself if you really existed. I finally ended up in the Commonwealth. I kinda ran out of road. Plus, I'd come to terms with life. I wasn't gonna be stupid enough to get mixed up with caring about other people again. It was just me against the world. And the world had it coming.
We do, as you can see.
What do you want?
It's come to my attention that you've been rather disruptive of our operations lately. This must stop.
I do what people pay me to do. If that's a problem for you, I could see only one way out.
And what's that, Mr. Kellogg?
If I'm working for you, there's no more problem. From what I hear, you can afford me.
I don't think you fully understand the situation you're in.
I think I do.
Very well. B-748, initiate. Impressive. We may have something to talk about after all.
Getting warmer. One of these has got to tell us something. We're running out of brain here. There's one that looks mostly intact. Connecting now.
Manual override initiated. Cryogenic stasis suspended.
Vault computers are still working. That's good. Checking through the logs. Hopefully it's all...
Just find it.
Pod C6. Down the hall near the end.
This is the one. Here.
Open it.
Is it over? Are we okay?
Almost. Everything's gonna be fine.
Come here. Come here, baby. No, I've got him.
Let the boy go. I'm only gonna tell you once.
I'm not giving you Sean!
God damn it. Get the kid out of here and let's go. At least we still have the backup.
Cryogenic sequence reinitialized.
Even then, I knew it was a mistake leaving him alive. I understood that kind of revenge. No one better. But I was cocky enough to assume I could handle some soft, pre-war vault dweller, even if he somehow got thawed out. At least I know those Institute bastards will soon get what's coming to them, too. If he could take me out, they won't be able to hide from him for long. What's the holdup?
I'm almost finished, Kellogg. I just need to confirm. Come on. All right, we're good.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I found another intact memory. Whenever you're ready. Is that your son? This appears to be a very recent memory. So, good news, I think.
Wasn't my idea to settle down with the kid in the middle of Diamond City. I thought it was a terrible idea, actually. But it was one of the old man's pet projects, so here we were. Me and the kid. Like a happy little family. I ended up kind of liking it. A reminder of what my life might have been if things had turned out differently. But there's no going back. I knew it was just temporary. It'd be back to normal business before too long.
Boy, Piper has really done it this time. I mean, I'm not saying she's right, but Mayor, oh, he's gonna be mad this time. I probably shouldn't.
Kellogg. It's okay. One of these days you're gonna get your head blown off just barging in here like that. The new breed of synths could easily pass as human. Some of them did. But the coursers, they weren't built to blend in. They were killing machines, pure and simple. Smarter, stronger, and faster than almost any real human. I'm just glad they were always on my side.
Minimizing my exposure to civilians is a priority.
Forget I said anything. So what's the big crisis this time?
New orders for you. One of our scientists has left the Institute.
Left? As in?
He's gone rogue. Name's Dr. Brian Virgil. We know he's hiding somewhere in the glowing sea. Here's his file.
Wow. Some heads are gonna roll for this. Capture and return, or just elimination?
Elimination. He was working on a highly classified program.
No kidding. One of the top bioscience boys? Damn. So, I guess you're taking the kid back with you.
Affirmative. Your only mission is to locate and eliminate Virgil.
You're taking me home to my father?
Yes. Stand next to me and hold still.
Okay.
X688. Ready to relay with Sean.
Bye, Mr. Kellogg. I hope I see you again soon.
Bye.
Teleportation. Now it all makes sense. Nobody's found the entrance to the Institute because there is no entrance. Let me pull you out of there as soon as you're ready.
And there we are. The truth behind the secret of the Institute is revealed, and we learn a lot more about Kellogg than we ever expected to. And again, you know, I have to give the game props for this. I really do enjoy that sequence.
Okay? I don't know what kind of side effects the procedure might have had. No one's ever done this before.
Hey, check
How
this
do
out.
you feel?
I have this burning feeling inside my skull like it's on fire.
That's not surprising. All the synapses in your brain have just been pulled apart, connected to someone else, and then pulled back together. I injected you with a large stim pack while I was pulling you out. That should ease things. Are you ready to talk about what happened in there?
I saw Kellogg's life. The man who ruined my family. The man I killed.
That's right. He was a human being just like the rest of us, and he had reasons for being what he was, however cruel. How does that make you feel?
I'm not sure, Doctor.
I don't know if there's any right way to feel, either. We're getting off track. The important thing is that we discovered the Institute's greatest secret, teleportation. The only question is, what do we do now?
That scientist Kellogg was supposed to track down Virgil. We need to find
You're right.
him.
A rogue Institute scientist could answer all kinds of questions. Where did the memory say he was? The glowing sea? That doesn't make sense. No one goes there. Not even if they were desperate.
That's why he's there, to make the Institute think twice about following him.
That must be it. He's using the radiation and the glowing sea like a shield, or a cloak, a way to throw them off and be at an advantage. If Virgil found a way to survive there, you'll have to do the same, if you're going to follow him.
I'll find a way to get through the
Good luck,
rats.
and be safe. By the way, I unplugged Mr. Valentine first. Removed the implant while you were waking up. He's waiting for you upstairs.
So there we go. Dangerous Minds complete. And now we enter the whole new phase of the game, and still really relatively early in the entire plotline of the game. But boy, things are. And yes, I am also robbing Dr. Amari blind because I need this stuff, man. I'll even take a Rob Go Fun.
Reading?
I also like that Nick can tell what I'm doing all the way from upstairs. But yes, anything valuable that she has, I'm going to use it. She won't use it. It's just going to sit there forever. So I'm taking it with me. But yes, well, come on, Pipes. We gotta get going here. But yes, so I really do like that sequence. I know that it maybe for those of us who've seen the game many times, it isn't particularly interesting to watch, and apologies for that. But I do find it really to be a well done sequence. If nothing else, it gives a lot more depth to Kellogg's character, which I really find fascinating. And also, again, as I mentioned, for keen-eyed observers, starts to make you scratch your head about, wait a minute, we thought we saw the twist in that Sean was 10 years old, but there's still a couple twists left to come, right? So, I mean, of course, we know, if we've been through the story, we know this, but this is the part where you start to go, hold on a second, what's really going on here? But let's go talk to Nick. Enough of that for now. Go talk to Nick and see what he's doing.
Hope you got what you were looking for inside my head. I was right. I should have killed you when you were on ice.
Kellogg? Is that you?
What? What are you talking about?
You sounded like Kellogg just
Did
then.
I? Huh. Mari said there might be some mnemonic impressions left over. Anyway, I feel fine, so let's get going. Or I could head back to Diamond City, since you've got company already.
There's something wrong with you, Nick. I don't want you with me.
I told you I'm fine. But I get it. Going through Kellogg's brain was a doozy for both of us. I'll be in Diamond City when you've had time to cool off.
So yeah, I obviously Nick is still Nick, but if you heard Kellogg's voice speaking through him, would you want to travel with the guy anytime soon? I certainly wouldn't. So I think Thomas will be watching Nick, watching him carefully from a distance, just in case. And so this is yet another revelation for Thomas that he must just be reeling from. I mean, it was one thing to know in the abstract that, hey, Kellogg had a 10-year-old child with him. And his statements made you think, I'm like, okay, I guess it is Sean. But to see the kid, to see a kid who looks like your kid, looks like he would be your kid, and he's grown up without you all this time, doesn't know who you are, calling someone else father. That's heartbreaking.
Best way to stick together is to keep an eye out for what drives us apart. You feel me? Yeah, you tell it like it is, Hancock. Now, what out there in our big, friendly Commonwealth would want to drive us apart? What kind of twisted, unneighborly boogeyman would want to hurt our peaceful community?
The Institute and their sins!
That's right. Who said that? Coming up to my office later. You've earned yourself some jet. The Institute. They're the real enemy. Not the Raiders. Not the super mutants. Not even those tools over in Diamond City. I don't know, Hancock! I'd sure love to give McDonough a kick in the ass! Hey, we all know I got my own personal beef with that lardhead. But stay focused. Now, I want everyone to keep the Institute in mind. When someone starts acting funny. When people are doing things they don't normally do. When family starts pushing you away for no reason. We all know who's behind that kind of shit. And the only way to stop it is to stick together. They can't control us if we're not afraid. Now, who's scared of the Institute? Not us! And which town in the Commonwealth should the Institute not fuck with? Good neighbor! And who's in charge of good neighbor? Of the people! For the people!
So there you go, Hancock's little local speech to his
Brotherhood
people.
of Steel better stay out of good neighbor. All I'm saying.
I think that they will.
Now, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in my time. But a flying ship.
How's it
Yowza.
going? Piper Wright, Public Occurrences. So, who's really in charge of Good Neighbor these days? Who runs this seedy sanctuary? You're looking at him, but I'll sell you a stake in it. 100 caps. Wait, no, 50. 10? Yeah, thanks. But I think I'll pass.
See, she's really she has a hard time as a journalist. She's constantly getting the runaround from, well, just about everybody in town. Good Neighbor is okay actually, as long as you don't go down the alleyways. There's always dangerous stuff going on down the alleyways. But we're actually going to go to the Hotel Rexford right now because I don't want to get caught tired before I go back. So we're going to quickly, and I also don't want to have to do that again because of course we're on survival mode. So the only way I can save is to sleep. So we're going to rent a room and sleep for a bit.
Are you going to hang out in the lobby all day again? Or are you actually going to go down and do some work?
Being available to the customers is work. It's not all about cooking chems, Claire.
It's not all about sampling those chems either. Maybe if you stopped using, you could focus.
What? Where's the fun in cooking it if you ain't using it?
My mistake.
Oh man, someone new! You need some jet, man? Home-brewed, reasonable prices?
Kind of pass.
Of course.
Before you even start, let's skip to the point. We have rooms, one room specifically. Payment due up front.
Here you go.
The room is on the top floor. When you come to the hallway, it's the last one on the right.
Fair enough. Direct and to the point, I like it. Whatever that conversation is going on in there, I don't want any part of it. We're going to go upstairs here and do a quick save. So yeah, so I mean, this is, this is a lot for poor Thomas to absorb. It really is. Hey.
What? No, it can't. It's you from Sanctuary Hills, right?
Wait, you're from Vault Tech?
I am Vault Tech. 20 years of loyal service, and now look at me. I wasn't on the list.
But you, look at you. 200 years, and you're still perfect. How? How's that possible?
The vault had these pods. They froze us in place. I only thought out recently.
What? Vault-Tec never told me that. Unbelievable. Well, I had to get to the future the hard way. Living through the filth, the decay, and the bloodshed. Look at me. I'm a ghoul. A freak.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know this would happen.
You know, you're the only other person I met from before. Oh God. I've been so alone here. No Commonwealth settlement. Once a ghoul with 200 years of Vault-Tec sales experience.
You could go to Sanctuary. I'll come visit, I promise.
Really? You will? Okay. I'll head over there right now. You promise you'll come visit, right? I'll see you there.
That little smile on his face breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, folks. I have never... I mean, there's been some cool ghoul characters in the game, and that guy obviously is just a minor part, but just he really... That little scene is just... what pathos? I don't know. The guy, just the simple salesman who didn't know what was going to happen to him. But that little smile after he's just like lived all this stuff, he's like, wait, someone's going to be nice to me, and he's telling me you can go live in your old neighborhood. That gets me right in the feels. I know it's silly, but it really does. So somehow managed to get a full night's sleep on the dirty mattresses. Now it is, I believe, what time of the day we have. It's 2 in the morning, perfect time to leave. This should be when the party gets started here in the Hotel Rexford, but we're going to get out of here while the getting's good. But yeah, so, Thomas is sleeping on it here, but this is a bad situation for him. His son lived for years without him. The Institute can only be reached by this crazy super science technology that is completely alien to him. The only individual who might be able to help him is in this place called the Glowing Sea, which technically I guess Thomas he hasn't visited yet. I don't even know if he technically... I think he heard about it in passing from someone's dialogue.
Whoever this Brotherhood of Steel is, I'm not buying that we come in peace malarkey.
Short out didn't act like
Yeah.
Thinks they can replace people with synths in this town? They got another thing coming.
What am I gonna tell his mother?
Hey, just your friendly neighborhood watch. Shooting down Institute spies as they crop up.
Better in our hands anyway.
And sure enough, guy had a synth component. It was indeed a synth, so they were not wrong. It was a synth, and they caught him. So yeah, Good Neighbor is kind of an interesting place. You know what I think? I think Thomas needs a drink. I think he needs a drink to kind of just absorb all of this somehow. And I actually don't have any alcohol on me, so I probably should buy a couple just for the road in case I need to make a quick charisma check. I somehow managed to drop mine.
Hancock says newcomers are welcome in the third rail. Go on in.
Sure will.
To feel like a stranger.
What? Another one of you mercs looking for McCready? He's in the back room.
God, I love this song.
And I like it too, actually. This is...
Boy, got beer. If you ain't buying beer, you ain't buying.
Who's the singer?
That is Magnolia, flower of the third rail. Anything you want to know about her other than that is her business. Now, you gonna order? Cash
Let's see
up
what you
front.
got.
No tabs.
So he's actually a liar. He actually has more than beer. He doesn't have any good beer, mind you. But yeah, so he's got a few things. The beer is, I believe, technically. Wait a minute. Oh, that's interesting. Everything is well, very fairly priced here. Everything is quite evenly priced. Oh, except for the bourbon. The bourbon is more for some reason. This, by the way, folks, makes absolutely not a lick of sense, other than the fact that bourbon. I suppose you could say that bourbon, pardon me, technically would need to be made in specific ways in a specific place. I seriously doubt that they're keeping to that in the post-apocalypse, though. But we're going to actually grab a couple of beers. And I say a couple because I'm going to drink one now and have the rest later.
Now that you're liquored up, got a proposition for you. I need a dirty boy to do some dirty, dirty work. Blood on the pavement, bodies in the ground, that kind of thing. Interested?
Not my kind of
I
work.
think it is. All right, mate. I ain't gonna stop you if you want to walk away from all these caps I'm offering.
Well, Whitechapel Charlie, you're a robot and therefore a terrible judge of character, so I'll just let it go.
Vault suit, huh? Hell yeah.
It's stylish.
Looks like we got another freak just won't fit anywhere else.
So as you can see, I like the third rail. I think it's a great little piece of color in the game. And while we're sitting here, we're gonna drink up our beer. Just hanging out. I better eat something too. Actually, I'm actually needing a little sustenance here as well. Let's see here. Eat our Yaogwai ribs. A hearty meal of Yaogwai ribs and beer. And by the way, a little tidbit for those who don't know. This Magnolia here is played by, and the songs are sung by, the wonderful Linda Carter, who played Wonder Woman in the original Wonder Woman series back in the 70s. So, little tidbit from Fallout lore. But yeah, the whole place I just love it. I love that they have a lounge singer. I love that they have Whitechapel Charlie and that he wears a bowler hat and that he's basically straight out of a Guy Ritchie movie. And I don't know why I like it so much.
That's right, good neighbor. I'm the one you're looking for. We'll be right back after a short break.
Beautiful as always, Max.
Thanks, Charlie. Can I get some water?
No need to even ask. I always set aside a stash of the good stuff just for you.
You are such a sweetheart, Charlie. Thank you.
And so there we go. There is a little introduction to third rail. Back here, of course, is McCready.
Load you're carrying. Better sell some to Daisy before someone swipes it.
I can handle it. Back there is McCready. We're going to talk to McCready real quick.
I'm surprised to find you in a dump like this, McCready.
I was wondering how long it would take your bloodhounds to track me down, Winlock. It's been almost 3 months.
Don't tell me you're getting rusty. Should we take this outside?
It ain't like that. I'm just here to deliver a message.
In case you forgot, I left the Gunners for good.
Yeah, I heard. But you're still taking jobs in the Commonwealth. That isn't going to work for us.
I don't take orders from you. Not anymore. So why don't you take your girlfriend and walk out of here while you still can?
What? Winlock, tell me we don't have to listen to this shit.
Listen up, MacReady. The only reason we haven't filled your body full of bullets is that we don't want a war with Good Neighbor. See, we respect other people's boundaries. We know how to play the game. It's something you never learned.
Glad to have disappointed you.
You can play the tough guy all you want. But if we hear you're still operating inside Gunner territory, all bets are off. You got that?
You finished?
Yeah. We're finished. Come on, Barnes.
And so there's MacReady, another piece of Fallout. This place is just thick with Fallout lore. We're not going to hire MacReady right at this very moment because I'm not. The quests I'm doing are not to his liking.
If you're preaching about the atom or looking for a friend, you've got the wrong guy. If you need a hired gun, then maybe we can talk.
Maybe. Why don't you tell me who those guys were first?
Morons looking to climb the ladder of success by stepping on everyone else on the way up. Shouldn't be surprised, though. That's how it goes when you run with the Gunners.
I never heard of the Gunners. Who are they?
Gangs in the Commonwealth. Got a rep for being crazy. You know, so tightly wound, you think they were a cult or something? Stuck with them for a while because the money was good, but it never fit in. That's why I made a clean break and started flying solo. Now what about you? How do I know I won't end up with a bullet in my back?
You always this suspicious?
Hey, you approached me. And frankly, I'm taking a huge risk being out here in the Commonwealth in the first place. So I'm not about to leave anything to chance. Which brings me back to my original question. Can I trust you?
Maybe I'll just go. Caps aren't good enough to answer that question. I can take them somewhere else.
Alright. Need to get your panties in a bunch. Tell you what. Price is 250 caps. Up front and non-negotiable.
Let me think about
it. The meter's running. Take your time. I got plenty.
So, yeah, MacReady has actually one of my favorite companion perks. So if I'm going to take another companion, that might be one of them. Boy, this place just, I really wish that they would not put these things right over here. They always get out in the way. But we aren't going to, we're with Piper. We're going to stick with Piper for the moment. Again, Piper's Gift of Gab actually turns out is a lot better than it immediately looks like. So, and I can actually build up affinity with her fairly quickly, so if I'm careful. So we're going to stick with her for the moment and get her perk.
Never thought a reporter could consider themselves a success until someone threatened their life. Me? I'm very successful.
But for now we got to head back. Like I said, there's MacReady is after all mercenary. At least when he starts off, he's not very altruistic. So the some of the things I'm going to be doing in the near future probably are not going to work out for him. And what I mean by that is this: we know that Thomas knows that he has to go into the glowing sea, and he knows already. He doesn't need anybody to tell him that there's really only one way realistically to do that. And that is to have a suit of power armor. Preferably a suit of power armor that's a little more robust than the old dinged-up T-45 that is sitting in Sanctuary. But, well, at present, that's the only power armor frame that he has access to. So, he's going to have to go back to Sanctuary. If he's going to go back to Sanctuary, he's going to need... well, he's probably going to need help. He's going to need resources. He's going to need a network of resources, and that means, despite his initial refusal, he's going to have to probably take Preston's offer and help out with the Minutemen and the settlements that need help. Of course, Thomas has no way of knowing where that's going to go for now, but it makes sense to me. That's the only piece of only power armor frame that he knows he has access to that's in a safe place with a workbench, place to work on it. The question is, can he get enough materials? Can he have other people helping him work on it, like Sturgis? So it's a logical conclusion. And here we are back in the shit already. That, of course, is happening on the other side of this area right here, and so I'm not going to worry about it too much. There's a wild mongrel over there, but I'm not going to worry about him. And what we're going to do here is go back pretty much the way we came. I don't mess with, like I said, I'm not messing with the gunners or their territory over there. I've dealt with the super mutants because I have to walk right by their front door. We're going to go from there to work our way back to first to Diamond City, but then ultimately our goal is to go to Sanctuary. But I think we might have to make a pit stop to complete another quest that's been hanging around for a couple days now, and that is we should see what's going on with Travis and Travis's friends. Freedom Trail. I don't think the Trigger men respawn. I'm a little bit paranoid about the game crashing on me. I was wondering if I maybe stop in there, but I guess we'll keep it to. Let's get back to Hangman's Alley and sleep there. Yeah, it's pretty much, this is the, I'm trying to take, obviously, the safer routes to get back. There are no truly safe routes through Boston. There's Swan again. Swan is still hanging out in his personal jacuzzi there. Like I said, he doesn't really bother you up until I believe he wakes up, quote unquote, at a higher level. Starts becoming more active. But for now, he's just hanging out. Keep out. I can't help but wonder if Swan actually writes these messages. I think he does. I think that I maybe not. Maybe it's just other people kind of like writing warnings. But I get this like impression that like maybe Swan's writing the messages himself. Like, everyone go away, leave me alone. Even Swan has a backstory, by the way, for those who've looked into it. Little things that I regret in the game. I wish there was a way to befriend Swan. That would be great. Make friends with the behemoth. Strong, as opposed to Swan. Strong as a super mutant companion, as the super mutant companion, is a great disappointment to me. He's just not very good. As many people have talked about, getting affinity with him is very difficult because he's a super mutant. He's a jerk, and he acts like a jerk constantly. He likes things that are not good, and he dislikes things that are good. And we hear vertebrates at work. Of course, having the vertebrates and the Brotherhood of Steel around, you cannot. Two of them, boy, they're really. They're deploying heavy here. I don't want any part of that. And looks like one of them lost it. Wow, two of them lost it. Holy smoke. They are not doing well. I checked my my mod, by the way, and it is still enabled to make vertebrates more sturdy. But boy, I have not seen them go down like this for quite some time. Maybe it's just the luck of the draw, but I can't help but wonder, part of me can't help but wonder if the mod has stopped working for some reason. I checked my load order. I didn't see anything that would be a change, but that's the third. Those are the third one I've seen gone. Well, those two, and then the other one I saw go down. That's actually not far from Diamond City either. What in the heck? What in the heck was there taking them on? What shot them down? Very strange. I don't know of any. I suppose it could have been the it could have been the super mutants in the tower, I suppose. We are also, I will admit, we are getting up to that point. Just around that point when oh, Red Roach is here. Getting to that point where people will start carrying missile launchers, which of course is terrifying to me because, as I think I've mentioned before, a missile launcher is effectively in this game like a very, very powerful sniper rifle.
Just go.
Damn it, Piper, get out of the frickin' way.
Come out.
Nope, didn't get him. Sometimes even 95% doesn't work. But some dangerous stuff comes up this street sometimes, and I want nothing to do with it. And we're not going to go any further into there. Just going to head back toward Diamond City, and ultimately toward my place. Of course, going this way actually puts us in another form of danger because, unless I'm mistaken, there are still several angry mongrels up here that need to be dealt with. But I guess we need to deal with them sooner or later. Yeah, look at that. Boy, right up next to Diamond City. Explosion. So this, I mean, obviously the parallels for the Brotherhood of Steel to other military occupations is kind of hard to miss. Kind of hard to miss here. We are going to head behind this Diamond City security man. Oh geez, he's not heading where we are heading. That's not good. What the heck is this? Oh right, there's a thing up here. And we hear that padding around. That is mongrel dogs. And there's a ton of them in here. Generally like to do is stay out of the reach of their jaws, so they don't always come out. Oh, there we go. Hey, don't hit me by accident, gun. comes, I think, the last of them.
Let's do this.
Alright, so yeah, if you approach it from the right direction, the Diamond City security kind of takes care of it for you. It's just the alpha you need to watch out for. Of course, I have in the past made... Oh, jeez. Let's go back this way, shall we? I don't want to get stuck in a big old explosion from a car. We'll wait for that thing to blow, and then we'll go through. Of course, this is a dangerous place because it's a frickin'... yeah. Yeah. I might want to get further away, actually. It's kind of a chain reaction thing going on here. Yep, it's still going. I'm gonna stand over here. That's yeah. The careless player might easily find themselves dying while walking home that way. All from some stray bullets. Just amazing. That one's still going too. Yeah, look at it just keeps going. It's nuts. I don't think there are any more cars that can blow up, but I'm not absolutely sure. I think that's it. Ooh, what's that? Caution. We are in caution. Caution from what? Caution, no doubt, from something on the other side of that street. I mean, there are raiders up there, but I can't imagine it's them that's detecting me. Oh, more dogs. Wow, that's crazy. I can't believe how many mongrels there were up here. Even after all those explosions. You think that would have taken them out? And a rad roach, and like, boy, we're just, that's nuts. Alright, well, through that unexpected gauntlet, we are back. But we're going back to my new pad in Hangman's Alley, not into Diamond City proper. Because I have free lodgings. So yes, indeed, what we're going to do here, the plan for the moment is the midterm plan is to head back toward Sanctuary to you know, acknowledge to Preston, yes, okay, you know, I need your help, I'll help you, with the sort of unspoken promise that I'll get to use that power armor, which of course I realize, of course, I don't have to do that. I could just walk in and take it. That's the nature of the game. But I am attempting to play this the way I think it should be played, and that is that I wouldn't just walk in there and just take it. I mean, that, you know, realistically, if it was, you know, imagine if it did have the appropriate voice acting and all the logic built in and the dialogue trees to say, hey, wait a minute, you know, you use this for us, boy. We can't just give it to you. This is our main defense against raiders. This thing, especially since you refuse to help. So, you know, it's only logical that they would ask for a little something in return. We're gonna do a little cooking here, very quickly. We can make a noodle cup. We have razor grain. I've been waiting to do that for some time. Simplest thing. All you need to make a Make a noodle cup is just some harvested wheat, pseudo wheat. And water. Dirty water. Which is somehow, when it's made into a noodle cup, is again, no longer has radiation. Not exactly sure how that works. But we'll eat a ribeye steak because that's what we want right now. And a quick nap and save. And we will continue.